Imagine standing in the midst of a storm. The wind howls, rain lashes your face, and thunder shakes the sky. Yet you stand firm, unyielding, not because the storm is gentle, but because you have chosen not to be swept away by its force. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, the art of remaining unmoved by the tempests of emotion that arise within and around us. To be controlled by emotions is to be like a ship without a rudder, tossed on waves, subject to every gust and current. But the Stoics teach us that there is another way. They believe that true freedom lies not in the absence of emotion, but in mastery over it. To practice Stoicism is to train the mind to respond rather than react, to act according to reason rather than impulse. How then does one achieve this mastery? The first step is to recognize that emotion, in itself, is neither good nor bad. Anger, fear, desire, joy, these are natural responses, arising from our biology and experiences. What matters is not that they exist, but what we do with them. The Stoics divide life into two realms: what is within our control and what is not. Our thoughts, judgments, and actions lie within our power. The actions of others, the weather, fortune, and chance, these lie outside it. To confuse the two is to invite turmoil. To focus on what we control is to cultivate serenity. Consider the words of Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the great Stoic teachers. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the heart of the Stoic approach. When emotion rises, do not suppress it, nor indulge it blindly. Instead, pause. Observe it as one might observe a cloud passing across the sky. Accept its presence, but do not let it dictate your actions. To develop this inner strength, the Stoics practiced a form of mental discipline. They called it the dichotomy of control. Whenever you feel anger at someone's words, frustration at a setback, or anxiety about the future, remind yourself, is this within my control? If not, let it go. If it is, focus on shaping your response with wisdom and virtue. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, faced unimaginable pressures: wars, betrayals, loss. Yet, in his private journal, now known as Meditations, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Each morning, he would prepare himself for the day's challenges, anticipating irritation, rudeness, and adversity. By expecting difficulty, he was less prone to emotional surprise. By recalling his capacity for reason, he was less likely to be overwhelmed. To never be controlled by emotions again does not mean becoming a stone, devoid of feeling. It means learning to steer the ship rather than being tossed by the waves. The Stoics offer several practices for this purpose. First, cultivate awareness. When emotion stirs within you, name it. This is anger. This is fear. This is desire. By labeling the feeling, you create distance from it. You are no longer submerged. You are observing. Seneca, another Stoic master, advised, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Allow yourself a moment. Breathe deeply. Count to 10. Step outside. In the space between stimulus and response, freedom is found." Second, examine the source of your emotion. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself? Often, our feelings arise not from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. If someone insults you, is it truly an injury, or only your interpretation? The Stoics teach us to challenge our assumptions. Is this worth my peace of mind? Is my anger helping me or harming me? By questioning the narrative, you loosen emotion's grip. Third, remind yourself of impermanence. All things pass: joy and sorrow, triumph and defeat. The Stoics practiced negative visualization, imagining loss, hardship, and the fleeting nature of life. This is not pessimism, but preparation. By accepting that all is transient, you become less attached to outcomes, less swayed by temporary feelings. When you feel anger, remember, this too will fade. When you feel fear, recall, nothing lasts forever. Fourth, align your actions with virtue. The Stoics believe that the highest good is to live in accordance with reason and moral excellence. Ask yourself, what is the right thing to do, regardless of how I feel? Courage, justice, temperance, wisdom. These are the pillars of Stoic ethics. When emotion tempts you to lash out, to retreat, to indulge, choose instead the path of virtue. In time, right action becomes habit, and emotion loses its power to sway you. Fifth, practice gratitude. Even in adversity, there is opportunity for growth. The Stoics saw each challenge as a chance to exercise virtue. When you feel frustration, give thanks for the chance to practice patience. When you feel fear, be grateful for the opportunity to develop courage. By reframing difficulties as gifts, you transform your relationship to emotion. Sixth, accept what you cannot change. The Stoics taught amor fati, love of fate. Rather than resisting what is, embrace it. If misfortune comes, greet it as a teacher. If disappointment arises, see it as part of the natural order. By yielding to reality, you cease to struggle against it. In acceptance, peace is found. Seventh, seek perspective. Zoom out from your immediate feelings and view your situation as a whole. Will this matter in a year? In 10 years? From the vantage point of eternity, most troubles shrink to insignificance. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that he was but a small part of a vast universe and that his personal trials were fleeting. By adopting a wider view, you can free yourself from the tyranny of emotion. Eighth, maintain discipline. The Stoics valued daily practice, reflection, journaling, meditation. These are the tools by which the mind is trained. Each day, review your actions. Where did emotion sway you? Where did you remain steadfast? Over time, you will notice progress. The storms will come, but you will stand firm. Ninth, nurture your inner citadel. The Stoics spoke of an inner fortress, a place of refuge that cannot be breached by external events. Cultivate this sanctuary by returning again and again to your principles. When emotion threatens to overwhelm, retreat within. Recall your commitment to reason, virtue, and serenity. In this inner citadel, you are invulnerable. Finally, remember that mastery is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments when emotion slips through the cracks, when anger flares, when fear seizes you, when desire tempts. The Stoics did not promise perfection, but progress. Each time you catch yourself, each time you pause and choose reason over impulse, you grow stronger. To never be controlled by emotions again is to choose, moment by moment, the path of inner freedom. It is to live as the Stoics lived, steadfast in adversity, serene in turmoil, guided always by reason and virtue. Imagine waking each day with this resolve. The noise of the world rises, news, opinions, frustrations, temptations. Yet you remain calm. Someone criticizes you. You do not react with anger, but with understanding. A challenge arises. You do not panic, but consider your options. A pleasure beckons. You do not indulge blindly, but weigh the consequences. You are no longer a slave to feeling, but a master of yourself. This is not to deny emotion, nor to suppress it. Emotion is part of the human experience, a signal, a messenger, a prompt. The Stoic does not ignore the messenger, but listens thoughtfully. What is this feeling telling me? Is it based on reality or on fear? Is it useful or distracting? By engaging with emotion rationally, you harness its energy for good. In relationships, this mastery brings harmony. When others act out of anger, you do not mirror their rage. When they succumb to fear, you remain steady. Your calm becomes a refuge for those around you. You lead not by force, but by example. The Stoics believed that the highest service is to help others cultivate virtue. By mastering yourself, you inspire mastery in others. In work and ambition, this mastery brings clarity. Success and failure are but outcomes, subject to chance. The Stoic focuses not on results, but on effort. Did I act with integrity? Did I do my best? Did I remain true to my principles? By measuring yourself by your own standards, rather than by external validation, you free yourself from anxiety and disappointment. In hardship, this mastery brings resilience. Pain and loss are inevitable. The Stoic feels these fully, but does not let them define him. He asks, "What can I learn? How can I grow? What virtue can I exercise in this moment?" By transforming suffering into strength, adversity becomes an ally. In pleasure, this mastery brings moderation. The Stoic enjoys life's gifts, but is not enslaved by them. He appreciates beauty, friendship, achievement, but does not cling to them. He knows that all things pass, and that true happiness lies within. Throughout history, those who have practiced Stoic philosophy have faced the harshest trials with grace. Prisoners, exiles, rulers, soldiers, they have endured loss, injustice, and uncertainty, yet remained unbroken. Their secret was simple. They refused to be controlled by emotion. They chose, again and again, the path of reason. You too can walk this path. Begin with small steps. The next time emotion rises, pause. Breathe. Observe. Remind yourself of what lies within your control. Choose your response with intention. With practice, you will find that emotion loses its power to dictate your actions. You will become the master, not the servant. Remember, the goal is not to suppress emotion, but to understand it. The Stoic is not cold or indifferent. He feels deeply, but acts wisely. He welcomes joy, but does not cling. He faces pain, but does not despair. He loves, but does not possess. He lives fully, but remains free. In the end, to never be controlled by emotions again is to live as nature intended, rational, virtuous, serene. It is to walk through the storms of life with calm, knowing that you are the captain of your soul. The winds may howl, the waves may crash, but you remain steady, guided always by the light of reason. So the next time emotion threatens to overwhelm you, remember the teachings of the Stoics. Pause. Reflect. Choose. In that moment, you reclaim your freedom. You become not a victim of feeling, but a master of yourself. And in that mastery, you find peace. This is the Stoic way. This is the path to true strength, to live, not as a slave to emotion, but as a free and rational being. The storm will come, but you will stand firm. The world will change, but your inner citadel will endure. In the practice of Stoic philosophy, you discover the greatest freedom of all, the freedom to choose your own response, and in so doing, to shape your own destiny.